Alright, hey guys, so welcome back to episode 11 of Trainer Talk, and in today's episode, I am so proud and I'm so happy to have my mentor here, alright, and my good friend Simran, right, who came all the way from KL to do this show with you guys. So please share this out if you are watching this video, or if you are listening on Spotify, please share this with someone who will find value. So today's episode is interesting, right, Sim? I think we're going to be talking about the power of community. It's something that's very magical in the fitness industry. Like I'm always impressed, although I'm not a group class instructor, but I'm always impressed on how magnetizing the whole group class or even community-based fitness is always, it has always a magical feeling to it, you know, like people are so devoted to it, you know, they find themselves making new friends, new relationships and all that. So today's episode, we're going to be talking a lot about that. But before we begin, right, you guys need to know that Sim is the expert here on community. He is the operational leader for Wiper Challenge. So you guys who have joined any events, this guy is the one making you suffer.
Or hopefully having fun, yeah.
Right, so he has 10 years of building outdoor fitness communities. So he started out doing boot camps, right, in the community scene. And yeah, I think you should do more introduction than me. So tell the people at home.
Okay, hey, thanks Aaron. Morning everyone. It's good to be back in Penang, by the way. I haven't been back, I think, since last year.
So Sim is from Penang also.
Yeah. Penang born and bred. So happy to be back, especially to see the parents. But yeah, about me. So I've been doing the whole outdoor thing for about 10 years. Prior to that, I was I think very similar to Aaron. I think a lot of us came from the commercial fitness scene. So I was with Fitness First for about 1 year and 3 months. And then in about 2009, I answered an advertisement in the paper.
Okay.
I specifically remember actually it was Job Street. So I was just browsing through Job Street because I was getting a bit disillusioned with working in the commercial fitness scene. So I needed an out. So I saw a job ad for Bootcamp. So at this time, for those that are wondering what Bootcamp is, it's basically an outdoor fitness program. And traditionally in the olden days, it was regimented.
Like the military kind of?
Oh, military as in discipline based. And that's probably the number one thing that people don't have is discipline. So I answered the ad, I got it, and we launched in, I think, June 2009, original Bootcamp Malaysia. And that kind of just skyrocketed. So it was unheard of at that point in time to get people to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, come out when it's still dark, and basically get them to run, do push-ups, and do all these bodyweight exercises and do them together. But surprisingly, people actually found it pretty fun. And I think there's two reasons to it. One is because of the discipline element. So we had to do roll call. It's like going back to school, you know. Ali, yes. Sarah, yes.
Right.
If someone comes late, everyone gets punished like 10 burpees or something.
I was going to ask that, like a lot of things that if they do wrong or if they can't do, you're going to punish them.
Yeah, I mean, it's more so like, you got to be on time and stuff like that. So it's keeping people accountable.
That's nice.
And then what we do is we also kind of have people in different fitness groups. So if you're less fit, you're in this group. If you're really fit, you're in a Delta group. And then we scale it. So the fit guys do a lot. The least fit guys do less.
Okay.
But then we make the fit guys work for the least fit guys. So then the component of team workouts came in play. So it's a lot of like team-based objectives. Today's workout is, okay, you got to get from point A to point B, move all the equipment there, but you got to make sure none of the equipment hits the ground.
Right.
So I think a combination of that, people started bonding, and we just, amazingly, I think one of the amazing things that happened is we retained people, and as we retained people, they started telling their friends, they started telling their families. Those people started coming in. That's where the community part
power
came.
of the word of mouth.
Correct, community, and what gets you results is exercise adherence, right?
Yep.
So we tick that box. They came 3 times a week, and some of them came non-stop for 6 months.
No issues.
No issues. 6 months and all that. Obviously some people who come in and have pre-existing injuries, we'll find out, we try and work around them. If you can't do push-ups, we'll give you an alternative.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible, to cater to someone who has injuries. But yeah, it just grew. So from there, I grew my stable of coaches, and it was an amazing.
How long were you doing the bootcamp?
2009 until 2015.
Okay, so that's about 6 years of boot camps.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you though. So for you guys who do not know, Sim is actually my mentor, my teacher when I was doing the CSCS course.
I think mentor is a big word, facilitator,
Facilitator. Okay, so anyway, definitely he has the experience of being a personal trainer before doing this, right? So my question for you is, why do you think your bootcamp has a higher or which one has a higher adherence rate, when you were doing a PT or when you were doing mass events?
PT or mass events?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to mass events. As a personal trainer, I think.
Sorry, not mass events. I mean your bootcamp.
Bootcamp?
We're talking about adherence rate.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So PT versus bootcamps, which one has a higher adherence rate?
Again, if I had to compare the both, I would definitely say that the bootcamp scenario retained people, because what happened is automatically they create a social support ecosystem amongst themselves. So we always called it a social fitness experience.
Okay.
So it's fitness, but there's a social component.
Yes.
So they come in the morning, they high five. After we work out, sometimes these people, they bring food, like cakes, and cupcakes, and like we eat after we work out, and then it's
a real community.
It's real community. So you get to know people really, really well, and because they become close and they bond, and people always bond through adversity.
Yep.
So through our boot camps, and I used to run pretty tough boot camps lah.
Okay.
We'll put them to the ringer, because I think through adversity you learn.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
like, it's not what doesn't destroy you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think definitely in terms of sticking to a regimen, I found that the whole the boot camp scenario, if done well, allows people to stick together for a very, very long time, as opposed to personal training. I mean, personal training, you can kind of, because clients are training with you, but I don't think your impact is as big.
Right.
So from a trainer point of view, the ability to network and get to know what we call high-ticket individuals. So the people that are joining our boot camps, believe it or not, were your C-suite professionals, your CEOs, your MDs, your doctors, your engineers.
Right, okay.
So from a branding point of view, from a reputation point of view, it was massive for not just me, but all the trainers that worked with me, because you get exposure.
Yep.
For being known amongst these high ticket
friends
or these high ticket clients, right? And then from there you will get, you might get PT and all that. I never stopped my trainers from doing that.
Right. You're still doing PT until today,
I'm still
right?
doing PT, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you still love the original.
I love doing
hustle.
PT. I love doing PT, but as you know, I mean, when you do personal training, there's a limit to how much you can do.
Yeah. You can only
In terms of quality, in terms of your headspace as a coach, like I'm only doing 2 or 3 clients now. I'll grow it slowly, because of the whole
But
COVID
I think
thing.
that's a good number if you're not like a full-time PT, right? 2 to 3 is a good number.
Yeah. The only downside is traveling around lah, but
Yeah, you have to go to clients.
we'll manage lah,
Okay, so let's talk about mass running events, right?
Right.
Like, so how do you think it's a way to motivate people to start exercising? How do you
It's
think?
a very good. Have you done a running event? Have you joined a running event?
Good question, Sim. I don't want to reveal things on the internet, but yeah, honestly, I'm not a big fan of running.
Right.
Probably the last time was all those Merentas Desa in school.
Okay.
So, yeah,
So
I'm
you've
more-
not done like Standard Chartered, like marathon.
I'm
and
not
stuff
a running
like that.
guy, man, honestly.
All right. So let me just paint a picture of the running scene. It has grown year on year in the past few years.
Definitely.
We did some statistics research because we submitted a proposal to the Ministry of Youth and Sport
Okay.
for SOPs to try and restart events, right? Because obviously we've been hit very badly by COVID. In 2019, if I'm not mistaken, if you just do a quick search on all the running portals, about 1,700 running events.
Wow, in Malaysia.
In Malaysia. So that's like your fun runs, that's your marathons, that's your half marathons, that's your obstacle runs, everything lah. Everything you can think of.
Okay.
So running events as a sector or a market is booming and was booming up to the point until COVID hit. Every weekend, you'll be spoiled for choice for a running event.
Wow.
Be it in KL, Ipoh, Penang, Johor, and especially fun runs. Fun runs are things like
5 kms.
5 km bubble run, 5 km color run, 5 km Ultraman run. There's always a theme.
Yes.
So it caters to the people that don't like running but just want to have fun.
Right.
And then you have also your obstacle runs, like Viper, like Spartan and whatnot. So what has happened over the years is the popularity has increased tremendously. And what that has done is basically it's given a platform for people to kind of have something to strive for in terms of training. Because there's a research done, I think a few years back by Silasos with Fitness First, where 50% of people who don't exercise state the reason they don't exercise is lack of motivation. That's what an event helps with.
To break that barrier.
And there's also like tons of supportive research saying that once you start doing a fun run event or running event, you're more likely to stick with exercising because it kickstarts that motivation. And it keeps you going. So that's the power of events. Because they join with friends and then they start running with friends to get ready for the event.
So it's like a good break into the fitness world if you're not ready yet, right?
Correct.
So I think that's very powerful. And I think let's talk about back to your bootcamp trend, right? So it started off as a trend. We were talking earlier, even before this, and he was telling me like. So my question is it still a trend, and how are you guys going to navigate through this COVID-19 thing?
The beauty of bootcamp is, especially outdoor, is the fact that it's outdoor.
Right.
So you're not limited by space constraints, right? So in this time where I wouldn't say social distancing, physical distancing is more of a norm, right? You can space out people. So it's a great platform to...
Like this guy, see? We are respecting.
It's a great platform to kind of distance people out and have slightly bigger numbers, and also kind of give them an experience where, maybe they're not so worried about, the indoor space and all that. So I think for the trainers out there, and there's a lot of bootcamps right now all over the place, but I think it's a great time to kind of capitalize that, or even with a freelance trainer to go back into small group training and get people outdoors. Because you can do it anywhere. It's minimal kind of costing. You just need a bit of equipment. Equip yourself with obviously your sanitizing stuff and whatnot.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So it's allowed legally to conduct bootcamps right now? Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, from last SOP it was like 10 people or less. But then they opened up the whole wedding, like 200 people, isn't it? So I'm pretty sure the bootcamps are now just getting more numbers in.
Okay.
And as long as you respect the distance, I don't see why it's an issue.
So it's still trending from the day you're doing it?
It's still out there. I'm not in it per se.
Okay.
But I know of coaches that are still doing it. I know of our community that still does it. I think it will always be there. It's just how well, sometimes if you've done something long enough, it's how well you can rebrand.
Right.
So do you need to change your program up? Do you need to change your equipment up?
Right.
Or how you market yourself? But I think there's a huge opportunity there, especially for freelance trainers who don't want to kind of invest in a space or.
Understand. It's a good start.
It's a good start.
Okay. That's nice. So I think we're going to take a short break, guys, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about things like what makes a bootcamp successful, right? And maybe a case study in Malaysia and how it has worked for you over the years.
Sure.
Right, so stay tuned, guys, and I will see you soon. Alright, hey guys, so welcome back from the break, and today we have Sim with me today. So he runs the operations for Viper, but before that he was running a very successful bootcamp. He claimed it to be the best, in Malaysia. Right? It is known as OBC Malaysia. So I want to ask you a question, Sim.
Yep.
What makes a good bootcamp program?
That is a very good question, Aaron. I can only talk from personal experience, but I think the first thing that you need to do is be very clear on what your bootcamp is about. What is the brand of your bootcamp? So OBC Malaysia was very clear. We were a discipline-based, regimented bootcamp where we all played this fantasy role. I was a sergeant.
Right.
My coach next to me was a corporal.
Okay.
All one big fantasy. But it worked because that was I guess the philosophy of what we're doing.
So what do you call your members? What are they known as?
Recruits.
Recruits. Okay. Nice.
Recruits. So we got a roll call and stuff. So I think the first thing is to be very clear. So when we started, we were very clear what we're doing. It was discipline-based, regimented outdoor bootcamp training, using proven training methods.
Okay.
High intensity interval training and stuff like that, with equipment, without equipment.
So the fitness part of it is still the same, lah.
Fitness part of it is still the same, but ours was also very much focused on how they do it in the army, which was like, how do you get people working in teams? You know, so creating training-based scenarios where every session is an objective-based session. Like for example, okay, today recruits, we're gonna do a workout where your objective is to get through a series of circuits.
Okay.
It's team A versus team B.
Right.
You know,
So that
team that loses gets 50 burpees. So how are you going to choose each other? I will choose for you. Okay.
Okay.
So line up from tallest to shortest. You know, we'll do is also a stuff to kind of get people working together.
Right.
I will even do stuff. I mean, you got to figure out ways to kind of engage also the people in your bootcamp. I think it's great to have 20-30 people in your bootcamp, but it's not going to work, I personally feel, if they're all just working out individually.
Correct.
Then it's just still an
You
individual
need that
workout.
teamwork element
Correct.
in it.
So teamwork element. As a coach, do you know all their names? So that was the biggest benefit of doing a roll call. Every morning, saying everyone's name, you internalize their name.
Yeah.
So as a coach, you then have the ability to say, hey, John, get your hips low on the plank. Hey, Marie, squat a bit low on your squat. And people pick that up.
Yep.
It's like, oh,
a sense of belonging kind of thing.
Yeah, cannot hide one, but it's also like I'm being recognized and being, people know me.
Acknowledged.
And then you can also figure out ways where you can engage participants amongst themselves. For example, if I partner them up, I'll get them in a sometimes I'll do a game where, okay guys, line up from, I'll give you a minute. I want you to line up first name alphabetical order. If you don't do this in 1 minute, everyone gets a 30-second squat hold. 3, 2, 1, go. What's your name? Aaron. A, go. B, B, ball. So everyone starts talking to each other.
So it's kind of like a team building event in a way.
Correct.
Right?
It's team building, but it's just getting people engaged. Because I think at the end of the day, for a good bootcamp is you have to create an experience, not a workout.
Yeah.
I can vividly tell you the sessions I had that I remember, and I can go back to my members and ask them, and we can vividly describe the sessions. And I'm talking 6 years back, 7 years back.
Right.
Because you create an experience. You create an experience where you finish it like you're buzzing. You're buzzing, and then getting them to work together, pick up all the equipment, put back in my van. They have to do it.
Right.
So it's like, again, key point one: be very, very clear on what the focus of your bootcamp is. If it's fun based, okay, make sure you stick with that. Don't try and mix it up too much. Be very clear on what the core concept of your bootcamp is. Find ways to engage your participants so they have a good experience. The third one is market. So at that time, Facebook was on the up.
So you guys are spending a lot.
Also in print, so we must have spent.
Right.
My boss must have spent 50 grand on marketing.
A month.
No, just on that initial marketing burst.
Right, okay.
So that he got us on radio.
But it's a one-time thing lah.
Yeah.
Once you start, you
correct, and you build on
itself.
that. And the key, and the other thing is how can you build your name list?
Referrals.
So, correct. So once you market, you do a video of your bootcamp. So we did a huge kick-ass video. You can check OBC Malaysia. Go to YouTube. Fantastic video to kind of promote it. Then we did a 1 week trial period. So in that trial period, we heavily marketed it to everyone in that geographical area. Come out to PJ, come out to KL, come out to KLCC. And in that 1 week, they had the whole week 3 sessions to come out anytime and give them the best experience ever.
Okay.
Treat them like they've never had this kind of workout in their lives.
Right.
So when they leave, they're raving about your product.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there, hopefully you can start onboarding. And I think with these kind of key elements with marketing and all that, and always kind of be true to your members or your clients. Don't be late.
Yeah.
Philosophies I always tell my coaches: first one in, last one out. You're the first one in the setup.
Yep.
So if your session's at 5:30 in the morning, be there by 5, especially if it's equipment based. Because we use tires, sandbags, TRX, scaffolding, everything you can think of.
Even scaffolding.
We had scaffolding, scaffolding. So we were kind of the pioneers in terms of equipment based stuff outdoors.
Okay. Well, that's a good philosophy to have. I think not only as bootcamp instructors, but any kind of fitness professional needs to have that.
It's not
mindset.
complicated. It's not complicated, and it's like always be on time. Treat people well. Get to know them, and value your product well. I mean, when we were doing it, we were charging $299 for 3, 6, 9, 12 sessions a month.
Okay.
And then what happened over the years as more players started coming in, it became a price war.
Right.
Yeah, but as far as we were concerned, we always maintained it.
The value is there.
Yeah, because $299, if you think about it, it's like 25 ringgit a session, and you're getting results.
It makes sense.
We guarantee results. Also, put a guarantee on what you're doing.
All right. How do you guarantee results to them?
If you show up, you lose weight.
Right. That's nice.
It's also a mental trigger because 99% of the time, they will never claim the guarantee because they'll show up. You know.
So you solve the adherence issue immediately.
Correct. You know, it's a bit of like, what's the word for it? Reverse psychology, right? Yeah.
So no one wants to skip anyway.
Yeah, and I think honestly, because they trained in groups,
their
output was better, their calorie burn was higher, their efforts were much higher, and that's what got them results.
Yeah, you're pushing each other. That's nice, man. That's nice. I think we should start doing boot camps. By the way, are anyone doing boot camps in Penang? Do you know?
I think there was like Warrior Bootcamp. I'm sure there are. I think Warrior Bootcamp in Botanical Gardens. I'm not really in the bootcamp scene that much anymore.
Okay.
I miss it, but I think there's a huge opportunity. But if you're starting from scratch, then be patient. Put some marketing dollars on Facebook. Do a good promo video. Get people out for a week. Do a trial week.
So you're still telling people do bootcamp, do group training.
Try it. Why not? I mean, your overheads are low. Get permission to do it in some field somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I think there was one happening in Padang Polo.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a sharp. I can't remember the name though. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
It has a sharp logo. I remember. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so boot camps, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Okay, I think my next question is, I think this will benefit a lot of people because it's a confusing time we're in, right? COVID-19, MCO, this rule, that rule, and most of businesses, not only in the fitness industry, they are transforming or they are going online.
Yep.
So do you think that this will work virtually or not? This community thing that you're talking about, this powerful feeling of, you're coming to see your members, they're pushing you, you are doing competitions with each other. But virtually you're just at home looking at the computer. Will this work?
Look, I know that our community, because our bootcamp is still running, but under a different banner with our previous coaches. I know that the minute MCO hit, what they did was they pivoted onto online Zoom sessions. Now, it wasn't for everyone, but there were still people doing it.
Okay, same style.
Yeah, so I mean, you have a coach and obviously bodyweight stuff lah.
Okay.
Bodyweight stuff, but I think if you don't try, you're better off trying. You better, especially if you have an established set of members. By all means, try. From the events point of view, there are tons of virtual running events happening. So what that means is, you sign up for a virtual running event, you can run anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I think I heard of it.
Once you log your distance, you get your medal and t-shirt.
You just need a tracker like this, right?
You just need a tracker. So we, as a company, we're kind of looking at doing our own virtual event sometime this year. and we'll see how it goes.
So it's like Viper Run or
Not a Viper Run, it's a client-based event.
client-based?
Client-based event.
Okay.
So we don't just do Viper, we've done Essex Relay, we've done Kowe Run, we've done Great Eastern Live Great Run. So we do a lot of other client-based events.
Okay.
So one of those brands may take up a virtual type run.
Okay, so you guys also organize for other
Yep.
companies like this?
Yep. Natural progression.
Right, that's
So,
nice.
yeah.
That's nice.
Yep.
Okay, so last question for today, man. So once events come back, are there opportunities for freelance PTs, or what's your advice for PTs or freelance coaches out there lah?
I think
What's your best advice for them?
so. If you're a freelance personal trainer, first of all, I think it's great that you have the courage to do it. It's not easy. You've done it. I've done it. But it's great because I think it is the time of the gig economy. I think there are many ways to monetize yourself without being locked down in one spot. When it comes to the event scene, especially with what I do, which is obstacle-based events, I have hired many fitness coaches on a project basis who never knew they could do it, but they became obstacle marshals, they became project leaders, and it's a great way to kind of be involved in a fitness type, I guess, setting, but it's an event.
Yep.
So be it a running event, obstacle event, it's still fitness. Difference is you're bringing thousands of people in one spot. So to execute an event like that, you have to have project members.
Yep.
Right? So
Yep.
people, technical people, safety marshals, road marshals, coordinators and stuff like that. So all these roles can be filled up by freelance trainers.
Right. So you only hire trainers for those roles?
Not just trainers, but because of my background
Right.
in fitness, I've reached out to my former coaches and stuff, and they've come up and helped at Viper and stuff, and yeah, so they earn extra pocket money. They upskill
Right.
in terms of handling crowds, in terms of managing crisis, in terms of managing issues, troubleshooting. So I think if you are a up and coming freelance trainer, once events hopefully restart again properly, get out there, volunteer for events, because when we say volunteer, you'll still get paid. And once events start coming back in, they will reboom again, guaranteed. It's just a matter of time.
People miss it, huh?
Yeah. So you can be a volunteer coordinator, you can be an obstacle marshal, you can do whatever, But it's a great way to kind of get into a different kind of fitness scene, increase your earning potential, and learn new skill sets.
Learn new skill sets.
Yep.
Perfect. So I think I also want to scratch off my last question of the day, because from that I think I have two more questions for you.
Yeah.
So nice talking to Sim.
Yeah.
So I have one question, especially for you as a employer, right? You hire people. So what tip would you give someone if, let's say, this person wants to be very hireable, or what should they have? What should they possess, or how?
Hireable as a trainer?
As let's say they want to join the Viper team, right?
Right.
So what kind of attributes are you looking for?
I think the biggest attribute is attitude. That is like the biggest commodity out there to hire someone, because skills can be learned. Attitude is very hard to train, and so I think if you're wanting to be hired, try and dedicate time, sacrifice a bit of time, sacrifice a bit of pay, go out there, do stuff that maybe you won't get paid for to earn experience. But I think if you're willing to show the right attitude, because I've hired some great people who are not naturally in the event scene, but because they had great attitude,
Skills
they learn.
just come naturally.
Skills will learn. So you just have to have the attitude to learn, have the attitude to always keep an open mind, to be coachable. And similar to, even to this day, I always try and keep an open attitude. Like, I've always believed that to lead people, you have to be a servant. So I will suffer as much as anyone else when it comes to...
Or even more.
Or even more. You got to kind of get into the front line and just do it with people. So especially if you want to be hireable, get out there and get your hands dirty. Get your hands dirty. Just... I think good attitude. It doesn't matter if you have a degree or whatnot.
Yeah, man.
The attitude is key.
I think I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
Simple things, like what you said earlier, those can take you a long way. Like coming early, first one in, last one out, those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so my last promise, guys, this is the last question. This is more for people who wants to get started with exercise, right? What would you tell them? Like, how do I get started? If you have not exercised before, you think this is something that it's not important in your life, or you don't have the courage to take the first step, to do a boot camp or a PT or whatever. What's your advice for them?
I think if you want to get into exercise, like any habit, especially if it's a new habit, do it in a way where you have the biggest chance of winning. So I'll give an example of my wife. My wife naturally, pre-COVID, very hard to get exercise, which is ironic, right? Being who I am. But she never listens to me. Which is the case when you have a...
It's the same with my family, man.
But when COVID hit, then obviously everyone had a bit more time working from home and stuff. So what worked for her is she got on Zoom and started doing workouts with her friends.
Not your workout?
Not my workout. So I always tell her, look, don't do what you want to do, as long as you're being active. So I think the greatest thing is, even if you're stuck at home because of COVID or you're working from home, maybe get virtual, get on a Zoom call with four of your 5 friends and do a workout. Get on YouTube, do a follow-along workout that you can do at home and do it. Because I think once you can do that, because there's a social element, there's a social support from people that you know, that will help.
Right.
And then hopefully that will kind of snowball into doing it yourself. Right. So I think doing it with friends is definitely key.
Pulled out the right word. I was going to say that as well. I think community has that kind of... This is the only way you're going to have that kind of power. Even as a coach or even as a participant. Community is the key. Right? Alright, Sim, so thank you so much for doing this today. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best with your future endeavors.
Same to you. I think what you're doing is great.
Yeah, man. Selamat Hari Raya to you.
Thank you.
And any last thing you want to say before we or anything you want people to check you out? Any links you want?
No, look, I mean, look, whatever you're doing, trainer or not, trainers out there, look, always be courageous. Never give up. As long as you're doing the right thing, the good things will happen in time. Just find out what you want to do. And I think for everyone else that's not a trainer, who's just a normal exerciser, stay active. I mean, just do stuff. Be it walking, jogging, anything that works for you. But if you're Penang and you obviously need help and guidance, then come and check out KD Trainer lah. Plug for them lah. I'm not gonna plug myself, But
Thank you so much for doing this, man.
No worries.
Alright, wise words. So thank you guys. I will see you guys again next time. Take care. Okay.
Done.
Done.